Good morning, everybody. So it looks like Bitcoin and crypto decided to give up the game. It's all over now. That's it. It's given completely up. Well, not exactly, but we're looking at Bitcoin on a 4-hourly, coming into those golden crosses right now, basically giving a support, the last support in the 4-hourly of 98,655. You need to see these sort of areas hold, otherwise it is a bit of a problem. I mean, it's already looking like a problem already, but it'll get worse. We've got the 50 simple here and the 50 exponential on the daily as well, giving you a support of just around 98,000. And then below that, it gets a lot worse. So there are supports, and we're sitting on them at the moment, short term and a higher term time frame. And you've got 95,600. I think the thing is at this point now, because we've established that we've been in a sideways market for a little while, really, and in a bullish formation. This is a bullish picture, bullish uptrend. Continuation is expected. Dollar again, doing the inverse of all of this. Dollar bouncing a little bit this morning, as we kind of expected from that 50 exponential on the daily. So I think the main thing to think about is, right, as we go down, which we are, am I going to take advantage of these areas? So the main thing I've been talking about over the last few days is the emphasis on Ethereum and how Ethereum is going to hold, if it's going to hold. So my limit order for Ethereum was around 3,000, right? The $3,000 zone, right? That's been tagged. My order's been filled, but it might not be the low. And I use Ethereum as a guide for all the other altcoins out there, because if Ethereum bounces and moves up and trends up, then everybody else ought to as well. So we are now just dipping our little toe into what I call the box of significance, right? And from a risk to reward perspective, I don't know where Ethereum's going long term or for the rest of this year, but I would assume, maybe I shouldn't, but I would assume a new all-time high, which isn't an enormous rally from where we are, but from a risk to reward perspective, there's your all-time high. It's a 31% move. Okay, fine. You break out from there, you would likely see a blue sky breakout. And what's the move down to the bottom of this area here? Okay, it's close to 10. Maybe a bit of contingency, but maybe you come down to the bottom of the accumulation, all the way down to 2,400. Maybe you see that. Either way, buys start within here, if you haven't bought already. And again, I'm not telling you to buy. I've already bought this area, just a little around this area. It's a guide, because we don't know the absolute perfect low, and there's no way to guess the absolute perfect top, but to work out a rough area, an acceptable area of buying into whatever starts here. Now it is unfortunate though, because there was a lot of altcoins that were sitting at really decent support yesterday. We did a live stream last night, and yeah, I would say that there was a decent amount that on their 4-hourlies were holding on to what could be positions to pump up, including Bitcoin, really. So we were talking about how Bitcoin on the daily has a trend signal on the Ichimoku cloud, which it does. It still does. This Chiku span cannot close inside the price action. Otherwise, it's cancelled out. So today, we cannot really afford to close price on a day, so the daily close, not a wick into it and bounce out, a daily close, no lower than this candle body, which is 90. We'll call it 96,700. You close today's candle in that. The trend on this side of things is over, and you're gonna have to start to entertain the lower prices. But until we see that, we'll just have to wait and see. Okay, it is a sharp move to be pulling back from already. It's disappointing, but if we don't pump back out by Tuesday, it's not the case for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's got a little longer. You can hold on to these lower prices for a little longer, a few more days. But it was the total 2 and the total 3. They're the ones that really can't afford to close these deep candles in here. So today you've got to have a decent bounce back up to where we came from. Otherwise, this cancels this trend signal out. So yeah, it's an unfortunate start to the week. It might mean that if this is how it's going to be, and we don't ricochet out of here relatively soon, then much deeper is probably likely. Which is unfortunate, because normally I'm right all the time. Obviously, in this instance, it might be that I am not right. But just standing back from all of that, my limit orders are all still in profit. All of them, for all the altcoins that I accumulated throughout December. And obviously, all the ones that I accumulated for the hodl bags at the end of last summer. So, you know, as far as that side of it is concerned, as far as profit is concerned, you know, I am actually still all in profit, but I would have appreciated to have not woken up this morning and seen this because it's not exactly as expected. You know, we were at supports, you see, and now we're below them, so we'll have to watch this space. Damn shame. I always talk about risk to reward and, you know, statistical likelihood of success, and I'm usually pretty vocal about how nobody actually really knows how it's going to go, because it is just a balancing of statistics. Last night we were about 65% likely to bounce out, you know, bounce up. And I use an analogy sometimes. I use lots of analogies, but you know, the one I used yesterday was that, all right, 65% on a trade is actually okay. You know, it's an acceptable. It's acceptable. You know, the odds are in your favour, so you might want to go for it. The problem being is that, you know, it's okay to do a trade, and then, you know, 65% likely to profit from it. But if you were sitting there with an apple on your head and someone was, you know, a marksman was going to use a sniper rifle from a mile away, says, I'm going to shoot the apple, 65% of the time I hit the apple, 35% I don't, you wouldn't want to play that game, would you? So, I mean, like I said, the situation is that. This is it, and it might be the case, and again, we can't be sure until Tuesday night, so Wednesday morning might be the case that all of this current setup for immediate continuation fails. But we know how fast things can bounce, but I'm not really seeing any real reason for this bounce at this exact moment in time. We are hitting moving averages, and really I would say the focus is going to be on the 4-hourly, and if we can hold this area, which, you know, at the moment is okay, you might be looking for a V-shape, and again, you might be looking for a V-shape out of here by, you know, hopefully the next couple of days. Right, that is it. Really not much more to say than that. Good luck out there. It's looking pretty wrecked city, unfortunately. The sideways has gone down. Is this going to be just a liquidity grab, bounce straight out, go to the moon, or is this it? Are we going to break down from here and see the lower 90s, maybe even 80s? Nobody knows. But at the moment, the odds are still in favour of the bounce, believe it or not. But I wouldn't say they're as good odds as last night. So it's not 50-50, but it's close. Right, thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.